Turn it up, everybody. Turn it up.
Turn it down, would you please? So loud.
Yeah, you're right. Just walk on up. It doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
Stand, laugh, cry. We don't care. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets podcast. Live from the Xfinity studio. Oh, Xfinity, imagine that. Blocking your 5-year price guarantee. More about that later on in the show.
Oh, I can't wait.
During the ad break. Today's show, just me and D-Line.
Yeah.
Just
they
the two
said
of
it
us.
couldn't be done. They, meaning HR.
HR did say we should never do this. That's what they warned against it.
We do have a healthy gap between us. Again, part of the agreement.
It is part. That's right. You don't want to share too much, but yes.
Keep your hands to that side. Thank you.
I thought you would be like if this was a thing. Do you think people would think you were the one that the rule was for, or like to protect you, or to protect me?
Well, you are bigger than I am.
Oh, that's true. There he is over there, D-Line Co. And look at him, man. A dress shirt.
Yeah.
He looks, was it because of the show?
Well, guys, I took a long look in the mirror. I realized that I know nothing of international football, and I've been told as much, and so I've decided to change my act so that I can garner some respect in this world.
Man, I'm
just kidding. My everything was dirty. This was leftover.
It's so dirty. There you go. Here's the thing. We can start there. We are going to talk about Jokic's deal. Should Jokic be putting pressure on the Nuggets? That's a question. Is he putting pressure? What is everything happening there? We're going to bounce around the association. We're going to look at scenarios, and we're going to talk about the monster Big 12.
Dude,
I can't wait to talk about the monster Big 12 with you.
Well, do we know if the New York Red Bulls are joining it?
I don't know if they are or not, because that would be a conflict of interest, as they say. We might even do a Western Conference Stunk report. But we'll start with our top story last night. Man, we have loved the World Cup. I didn't watch, though, yesterday. I will say, I did say the other day that I'm very into it.
Yeah, but
then I didn't watch the game. But I feel like I'm very into it.
Well, here's what happened. I'll catch you back up. So,
yeah, what did happen? Because I thought we were going to win.
We opened our doors to the world. We invited them in. Everyone was having a really good time. They were, I would say, singing the praises of the USA for the first time in my entire life.
Let me stop you here.
Okay.
Everybody's in their own bubble. And like I said, I'm just not a soccer guy. So with the U.S. doing well, I'm into it. The only thing I know about the World Cup is the U.S. was doing pretty good, I think, right? Mm-hmm. We were doing pretty good. And then everyone loves America. Yeah. That's all I've seen about the World Cup.
Okay, well,
I hear there's other things.
There were some updates. Some things changed. The U.S. was issued a very dubious.
I knew this too. Actually, you
a very dubious red card, which, as we all know, as we're big soccer people, is unbelievably punitive.
Yeah,
and you have to not only miss the remainder of that game, but the next game. What happened was that FIFA did not acknowledge their own rule set, and they incorrectly invoked the VAR. Whatever. U.S. got screwed. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
No one will ever care whether or not the U.S. got screwed or not.
Is this true, though, or is this, again, just in the bubble? Like, if you were looking
for
we
got
people...
screwed.
No, that part I get. But I'm saying that everyone was mad because I've heard you and other people saying, like, everyone online's yelling. And then I hop online and I see the same stuff I always see.
Well, you're not doing the for me. You're doing following.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, no. Once you open it up to the great unwashed of the world at large, you'll find that there's some anti-American sentiment that still remains, even though we've opened up our borders and allowed everyone to go to Buc-ee's. That even today, people feel a certain kind of way about the United States, and it takes one controversy for it all to come crashing back down. All goodwill is dashed, and we're getting clowned by nations such as Belgium.
Oh. We're getting cloud. So, yeah, that happened. They got killed, right? 4-1.
They got killed. They were most assuredly the lesser squad.
So we weren't actually ever good. Is this
No,
or we just had a bad
you have to
game?
realize, like, the World Cup now, they expanded it to a much larger field, 64 teams. So then the U.S. made it very far in an unprecedented manner to where we got. And, you know, like, it's fun for us because, again, like, as you all know, like, we're not a soccer nation. We are a sporting nation. Like,
totally.
Like, we will get
I
down
was watching sports instead of watching the game.
We will get down on sports. It's just not our... It's not our thing, but we like it. We like sports. We like the Olympics. We like all this. I don't love the way that the international community is now talking to us. It's a little.
How are they talking to us?
I would use the word disrespectfully.
I mean, we lost. You know, what do you expect? We lost.
See, look at this. The U.S. got too pompous and arrogant. Like, oh, it's like, did we really? All we did was say, hey, come over. Oh, this is so cool. You guys like what's going on. We like what's happening. This is great. We're all doing something together. And then, you know, unfortunately, the big T word was invoked. He's a gentleman that's in charge of things.
Gotcha. I did not know where you were going with that one.
Unfortunately,
I was thinking of T words that were.
Unfortunately, he had something to do with it. So that obviously sullies everything in most everyone's mind. But I would argue, and I still will argue, that injustice should always be corrected. Anybody who cheers against injustice being corrected, it's like, why are you doing that? Anyway,
it's so funny when you're not part of a thing, how funny it sounds. You know, like even you explaining it, I'm just like, okay. But we lost, right? We just got killed. I will say that one of the things that I do know that people think about Americans are that they are very arrogant and pompous, and I think there's probably some truth to this. But here's
not true.
Well, I'm just
you idiots hang out with us every day. Do we come off as pompous and arrogant?
But you know,
all we do is make fun of ourselves. But go ahead.
I have heard this though from a lot of people because I think I've traveled quite a bit. You know, in my younger years, I really enjoyed like immersing myself in different cultures, and you take stuff from it. It's just like that's my wheelhouse. We went to Serbia. We didn't just walk around and party, right? Like we want to learn what is it about that makes them who they are. But the late Aiden Advic, my friend, and who was the Serbians will know very well, and people across Europe, we used to always hang out. And one of the things he told me when he was here that always stuck with me, and I've actually heard this from other people, is he goes, "You're so optimistic about things."
That's what it comes down to.
And he's like, and I love it.
Oh, we're arrogant, loud, and cocky. Again, thank you for spending your time with us, the arrogant, loud, and cocky gentleman.
Whatever. I don't care.
But this stuff bothers me. Why do you come into our world and insult us? Like, I don't understand this psychology.
I think some of this has to do, though, again, like there is a lot of virtues. I'm going to go full Aristotle here. There is, I always believe this about things, that like every virtue has the vice attached to it that's inverse, and confidence and cockiness are like kind of the same thing, just in a different, a slightly different flavor. And I will say that I do think one of the things I love is Americans really do feel like anything's possible. And totally. I think, and Aiden even told me this, that in Europe, people don't feel like anything's possible. And he's like, it's just everything that flows through from that, it comes from that. And I do think there's something to it. So you know what? The U.S., we won what? 2 games? How many did we win?
We won 2 in group stage.
Yeah. And then
we won 2 in the knockout.
We won 4 games?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, we win a couple games and all of a sudden we're like, hey, we can do this. And even if it's a fool's errand, there's something to like, yeah, that's part of what's awesome though. Like we actually do think we could pull anything off. And sometimes we do. So shout out the U.S. men's national team. I had a lot of fun, if not watching, following along.
It's great. That's the thing, is it's like I was so excited about, because listen, you can say whatever you want about Americans, and you do. No one needs to give you that permission. You take it as just sort of it's a punching up thing. There's just no amount that you can do. But us specifically, we've gone to Serbia. I don't know if you knew this. I married a Serbian woman. I'm very open to other cultures. Yeah. I like what the world has to offer, and I find myself very rarely saying like, "Man, England's a bunch of idiots. This guy."
I say it all the time.
And you're like, get lost. What is wrong with you?
I know if I was to insult somebody, their soccer team is so far down the list of something I would even think.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what? Your soccer team sucks.
Well, I mean, like, I'll accept your soccer team sucks. Yeah, we got our asses kicked. That's fine. But
we do have Bucky's.
We do have Bucky's, and we have a bunch of stuff that you guys all like when you aren't mad. But when we're mad, it's like, oh, you fat idiot.
Yeah. That being said, basketball is the real sport. And
that's what we're going to talk about. This is the real, get down to it. Can we make basketball the world culture, the world sport, please?
It'd be so much more fun, man.
Oh my God.
It just is, to me, it's a much more beautiful sport, but to each their own. Here's the real question though, because we barely just touched on this yesterday about Jokic's, decision, his idea to be Nuggets forever and him leading it on. Now, we haven't really pulled on the threads of what this does to the Nuggets. If you don't know, just to catch you up to speed, he is not going to sign his extension this summer, according to him, source Jokic. But we'll wait till next year. Next year, he can sign 5 years, $359.5 million contract. It can have a no trade clause. He can add the extra $80 million, which is basically just the fifth year. That $80 million is the fifth year earnings mostly. Career contract earnings would reach $724 million, which is insane.
Dude, that's like 1 year of.
And next year he could sign the richest deal in NBA history, which will probably be that way for at least 12 months until the next year and somebody signs another one. But that's the motivation here. Here's my first takeaway when I think of this. Most players announce their farewell tour their last season. I think Jokic is going to sign this next year and announce his farewell tour. It's 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how this plays out. And whether he announces it or whether it's just implied, I actually look at this and say the big story to me, and it, obviously the contract and him being able to leave if he so chooses, I don't think that is too much of a concern, although we'll talk about it. But I think that we should look at this and say Jokic has 6 more years left. We've always wondered what the timeline. It's 6 years. This year plus 5 more after.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to know so that you're I mean, you don't like it, but yes, I do think listen, Jokic is a very unique individual. He is, as we've all said, he's cursed with the greatest gift ever given to man, the divine basketball skill that he never asked for, but was put upon him. He really just, it's a joke. We talk about it. He's a horseman. He really wants to hang out with the horse. That's what in his soul. Like if given the opportunity, he would love to lay in. He's been quoted as such. He'd love to lay in the field with his horses. He's very good at basketball. He's learned how to make it.
I think he's a basketball guy too, though. I don't.
No,
want to
he's learned. He's a professional, is what he is. Like,
yeah, but I think he also loves basketball. I don't think he would become this good, work this hard, all this things.
I think
he just loves horses more, which is fine.
Right. I'm just saying, like. D-line is the typical American stereotype. Go ahead and get rid of this fucking guy, would you please, Kale? Like
our guy Steve.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, get.
Maybe that was a compliment. We don't know. We don't know the context.
Yeah.
Because if I were to call you a quintessential American, that would be a huge honor.
I agree. Listen, I can't stand these people. I just can't stand this. Like where this attitude comes from. It's like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, it's just people talking. I will say though, here's the thing: Jokic's 31.
But
6 more years.
What I was saying. I think Jokic is a consummate professional.
Yeah.
I think you can love your craft without it being in your soul. I think that his soul is ultimately occupied by things that he's not necessarily gifted by, but I think he's making the most of and wants to be the best version of a professional as he can be. Like it's like, grow where you're planted sort of thing. But the thing is like, I don't know, man. Like I've always imagined he would retire early. Like he wouldn't fully
But that's not early.
He wouldn't LeBron it. I mean, like it is early. It's early, like in the new sports science age.
Yeah.
Like he's not just going to hang on.
It is funny. 20 years from now, and he walked away from the game at 38 years old. How young? And you're like, what?
I know.
Most people played on 90. I do think those. To me, that's a regular career. I will just push back and say, look. None of us can truly know this answer. I don't even know if Jokic truly knows, but I think he loves basketball way more than he lets on. I do think, this idea of retiring to Serbia and things like that, he easily could have done this already, and I just think that Jokic actually really does love the game, loves competing, loves winning. And while horsing or whatever you call it might be a bigger love of his, I don't think it is so meaningful. Like, the big story to me is we have 6 years to get to figure this out. Jokic at max can win 7 championships in his career. He's got 1. He's got 6 more years. And that's how we should look at everything is, okay, max number, 6 years. What happens each year now from here till then?
Yeah, well, it makes it a lot clearer. Like, okay, we're 3 years. It's like that countdown clock of like the doomsday clock.
Well, it's even actually more like, have you ever seen, like, if you write months on a whiteboard, it's your whole life. This is what 75 years looks like. And it's not that many ticks. So when you break it down by marks, that's kind of how it feels to me is we're like 6 years, man. We could narrow this down even further to say like 430 games. You know, every game that happens, we take a little mark off the board, and you start to see it that way. It just feels real. It feels big.
It does feel big. I mean, this is outside of learning of my own mortality. This is the most shocking revelation that I have is that Nikola Jokic time is finite, and I have to acknowledge it. I don't like it. I don't like it either. But if we are going with this and saying that now we have a countdown clock for Jokic and we know the date, or we feel very confident about what the date is. But that also gives the Cronkies like, okay, we got to probably pay out for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like this is the time. The sun is now shining. Now it's time to make hay.
All right. More on this, though, on this Jokic contract, because I do think it forms not only this upcoming year, but really the rest of the Jokic era very nicely. We'll talk about it on the other side. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA for generations. Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. You know, it's been smoggy here in Colorado in the mountains lately, Kale. Have you noticed? It's been very smoggy. They say it's going away, though. We're on the upswing, which means it's mountain drive season. And when you picture yourself driving through the mountains, what do you picture yourself in? One of Toyota's great cars, like the 2025 Land Cruiser, the Tacoma, the Highlander. They got so many great cars to choose from. Unofficially, I call this unofficially the car of Colorado. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder. Groove Toyota in Littleton. Mountain States Toyota in Denver. That's mine. I've got 3 Toyotas from there. Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. Also want to tell you guys about Xfinity. We are in the Xfinity studio. And why? Because they can lock you into that 5-year price guarantee. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. You can take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won. Records are broken. Dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Like, lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. All right, back here, segment 2, DNVR Nuggets podcast, me and D-Line.
Hell yeah.
We're talking about Jokic's timeline now. Now, here's the thing. I truly believe that Jokic is going to be back in Denver forever. There's a risk of people luring him away. We've talked about that risk. Sure. The other question is, though, I don't even get the sense Jokic is putting pressure on the Nuggets, because that would have been very easy to do every time he's asked about it. So you're not signing it this summer. Very peculiar. But, you know, you could say, I want to see where the team's at. I want to see where you could say, I want to be Nuggets forever. We have to see kind of like how things go over the next year. And that would put pressure on. That is all that has to happen. Instead, he basically says, if they offer it to me, I'll take it.
Of course.
If they do, and part of me wonders, as much as we love this, I do wonder if they need a little pressure put on them. I mean, like, do you think it'd be better if Jokic just put a little pressure, not a lot to make them nervous and crazy, but hey guys, don't take me for granted.
Yeah. I think first and foremost, Jokic is treated very well by the Denver Nuggets in general. Like, I don't think he feels like he's being done wrong. We feel certain kinds of ways about how aggressive they're allowed to be, or they are being in building the roster. You know, I read things where people are like, oh, the Nuggets are garbage. And then like the power rankings come out and they're like no lower than 4th.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, this team's a joke. It's like, no, we're talking about like just getting to that place. Do I think, I mean, I like it in a way, but I also just I like that they exist on a higher plane, and they have an understanding, and they don't have to use like low level bargaining tactics. It's like Jokic knows that they will do right by him. I also love that he's not like, he's not doing what everybody thinks he's doing. He's not, like you said, putting pressure on him. It's just like he's literally motivated by money at this point. Like he just wants to get the biggest contract he can get, and that's what waiting till next year will afford him. I don't believe that his ears are open to a lot of other people. Like he doesn't strike me as a guy that's very incorrigible. Like when the entire nation of Serbia was like extremely mad at him for not playing in the World Cup, and
it did affect him though.
Yeah, but he just didn't do it. He was just I'm not doing it. But and then when he wants to,
that's the not in him though. I think he was deeply affected by it, and then was like, well, then F it, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Totally.
So perhaps, but the larger point is that it's like, okay, the Nuggets and Jokic are married. They're in a marriage, and he recognizes it. And I mean, I think it's silly to think that the Kroenkes don't feel any kind of pressure. I mean, Josh Kroenke has said as much. He said that exact quote. He's like, it's our job to take advantage of this once in a lifetime talent that fell into our laps. And the Nuggets do pay for players. They don't, like most every team attempts to duck the tax because it's so punitive. And when you become a repeater and you start doing it year after year, it becomes like, I mean, you can't do anything. It's like you can't, like you lose draft picks and things. Like
I still look at some of the decisions the Nuggets have made over the last 2 or 3 years and think that they took the cheaper option in ways that if it works out, you never blame them. But if it hasn't worked out, and so you do look at it and say, okay, is that what needed to happen? They're not salary cap things because the Nuggets have paid for players and have brought guys in, but it is things like when they went to the front office, when they went to the coach, Tim Conley in the side door. There are things in hindsight that seem like they were much more money motivated than they were about the culture or team building motivation. And so part of me just thinks that I think it is fine to put a little pressure, just a little pressure to say, look, man, I try to be in shape and come in and play at an MVP level for 7 straight years. I just want to make sure that you guys are at an MVP level as well. And maybe that is about going into the second apron, or maybe it's about not going into the second apron. Maybe that's his motivation. But I think it is just have skin in the game alongside of me, and maybe just let the organization know that, hey, don't take this for granted. I think there is something too. I actually think there's a responsibility for him in some ways to put that pressure on. And it brings us to our next point, which is that Jokic was named captain for the first time of the Serbian national team. We talked about it, and he talked about what a great honor it is. And then he said, I've never been the captain of anything before.
Yeah, dude, that was actually crazy.
Because it really makes me wonder, does he not realize he's the captain of the Nuggets? Because
he's just like, it's just like not actually, he is, but not in name.
But not in name. And Jokic, you always talk about Serbia as the old world. It's formal. It is, it's traditional. And I do wonder if it's like, Jokic, you realize you have been the captain? I mean, next year they need to make him the captain. Maybe they put a little patch on him or something, or on his locker. Because one, the team desperately needs him to be that. He seems to embrace it, but he might be a guy that operates on the written rules, not necessarily the unwritten rules in this regard.
It is interesting. I mean, clearly, we need to put a C on this man's chest. Clearly, that needs to happen tomorrow. That needs to happen yesterday.
And I guess sincerely, it needs to be formalized.
Yes, I agree. I mean, that's clearly there are people in this world that like they just want they want to be acknowledged. They want to be like. Even if it's something silly, they want to have in the work Slack, hey, good job, this guy. We recognize what you're doing. We recognize what you are. I think most people would say, like, is it not obvious, like the way we feel about you, Nikola Jokic, the entire Nuggets organization? But I mean, make a show of it, man. Make this guy feel good.
But it's not even about feeling good. To me, it's more about the responsibility. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we've talked about the leadership aspect of this and him talking about how meaningful it is and how he wants to give his all to it and all these different, he has some great quotes about the Serbian national team. And again, I understand that is going to mean something different to him than playing for the Nuggets. And I understand and respect that. But I think there is also, Jokic seems to understand responsibility of leadership, like what it means. But I don't know if he always recognizes when it's like, the light is right in his face. And look, the Nuggets need him to be captain. And I just wonder if there's a formalization that happens that's like, hey, listen, you're the captain. And this year is all about your ability to captain this.
He has such like like almost charming view of roles inside of a organization, and he'll say that he's like, that's the coach. That the coach said that the front office said, like, he's like, I don't do this. That's not my role. I'm a player, and it does seem like them saying like, oh, you are the captain. So then when people are looking around looking for leadership, and he's like, I guess I'm the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain.
Yeah.
I got to step up. That would be great. And honestly, if the Nuggets like made a big deal about it, the first game of the season, like I feel like that would be like super meaningful. People will feel good about that. But it has to happen. Clearly, has to happen.
I think it's something to watch here with Yoke, and it's something that I think Murray has done a very good job. Murray's leadership is going to be an interesting one this upcoming season, because I just don't know that he can be. Murray has a lot of eyeballs on him in a way that I don't know that he can be as loud and vocal this upcoming season. And part of this has to be Jokic taking that from him. Mm-hmm. It's not that Murray's not great. It's that he's no longer like sinless. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know that he can be a guy like really telling other guys when it's like, hey, last year came down to you couldn't get around Jaden McDaniels. So we're all listening to Yoke now, and I just hope that happens. Anyway, that's the timeline. Let's talk about some other signings here around the NBA.
Please.
The Cleveland Cavaliers signed Donovan Mitchell to a 4-year, $273 million deal. Yeah, the Railway
You know how many wings that would get you at Fire on the Mountain?
How many would it get you?
I can't even do them.
Yeah, it would be probably $273 million. He's going to make $70+ million his final year of his deal.
He won't.
We disagreed about this.
Yeah.
That I just think that this is. If you're the Cavs, I would hate this deal. I like Donovan Mitchell. He's really good. To be that highly paid, that's going to hurt.
It is.
They have to win like this next year.
Yeah, but every team has a situation where you kind of got a guy, like everyone kind of has to have a supermax guy, and it's like, do you have a good supermax guy? Do you have a bad supermax guy? I mean, like everybody has like one or two max guys. Then you have like a third guy that's close to that, and then you have a huge chasm, and then you have one guy that made around $20 million, which is killing the team.
Yeah, it's killing the team. He's in the middle. You can't have anybody in the middle class. But if you listen to Brad Stevens yesterday when he talked about why they traded Jaylen Brown, he disagrees with you. You don't have two maxes. He says the future of the NBA is one max player, and I agree with him. I actually think that is correct. I think it's one max player and 6 good players as opposed to 2 max players and 3 good players.
I just mean the current construct of the NBA is this. And I could see that. Like, I said, like, I really feel like they have to figure this out. Like, players fill slots: $5, $4, $3, $2, $1. Right now, it's all 2 5s and all 1s.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there should be the guy that makes the supermax, and a team can only pay one supermax. That's it. And then you are able to dole out 2 contracts that are in the whatever. But yeah, dude, that makes sense to me.
It's a little bit like Texas Hold'em, with a little poker talk for you. It used to be back in the day, you could get like 2 aces and a king, even though you only get 2 cards. That would be your starting point, right?
Yeah.
It evolved to 2 aces. Like,
right.
Okay, that's a great hold.
Bullets.
Or we'll say ace king. You have a main guy, then you have a second guy like that. It might be now that the best hand to have is an ace jack. Just that might be it. It's like we have the guy, and we have guys not quite a max, but he is a pretty good guy. And then let's just fill out our roster the best we can behind it. And that's why I say these Mobley and Mitchell to me, 2 max guys, super max guys, and you're like, to me that's like a Jack Queen, paid like 2 aces. That's not
who's who in that.
Well, it's like a Jack 10. There we go. Okay. It's a Jack 10. And I just don't know. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. It's just, if you look at how many top players there are.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have like their guy. And I would say Donovan Mitchell is their guy. Wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I would say Jaylen Brown was Boston's guy, but Boston said...
Well, they would say Jason Tatum is their guy.
Well, and Mobley. So Mobley and Mitchell are both the max guys. Mm-hmm. So to them, they kept both. Boston... And it looks terrible. Boston split up theirs, and it looks terrible too. And I'm just saying, this new NBA feels like every move is terrible.
It is. I mean, that's exactly it. We just don't quite know what's going to work. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be draft and develop.
If Murray was like up for an extension this summer, do you think the Nuggets give him a max?
He earned a max on the back of a championship, or was it the year after?
A year after.
Right. And Would they? I think they would give it to him. I do think they would give it to him.
But here's the thing: is I don't know if they would, or should. And this is part of it. Is, and I'm not saying Murray's the worst contract on the Nuggets roster or any of this, but I do think going forward we're going to see a lot of Jamal Murray caliber players where teams are 50-50. Maybe they get it, maybe they don't, and the don't might be the teams that win. I mean, I look at Jalen Duren's situation right now. Everybody thought he would get a max 3 months ago, and it's like, all right, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, that's the team. Can you win a championship with it? I'd say no. But now you might get him on an actual value contract, and you're like, yes, now you can, because it's not those two. He's just one of the other guys.
It is crazy. Like, this game never ends. The difficult thing is first to acquire the players.
Yeah.
Then when you have the players, they better be the right ones. And then when you have them, like, you're going to have to pay them. Are they the right guys to pay? Should you not pay them? Should you move on? It's like, oh, man. So there's so much luck involved with like how you get players in the first place. Nuggets are a prime example of this.
Well, for us though, we are just, it sounds like just paying everyone, especially if P. Watts rumors are to be believed. What are those rumors? We'll talk about them on the other side.
Oh man, I can't wait.
At Common Spirit Health, they're more than just hospitals and clinics. They're a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being, woven into the very fabric of your community. From preventative care to advanced surgical solutions, their skilled physicians and caring staff are here for you, offering personalized treatment tailored to your unique needs. You can expect a blend of cutting-edge technology with a commitment to human kindness at their 20 hospitals and 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado. So whether it's a routine checkup, managing a chronic condition, or responding to an emergency, you can entrust Common Spirit to deliver exceptional care close to home. Experience the difference compassion makes. Visit a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. I also want to tell you guys about Shady Rays. It is Shady Rays season after all, and we all know that moment, the one where you left your favorite pair of sunglasses on the beach, on the roof of your car, or at a gas station 3 states away. We've all been there, but luckily they're Shady Rays. They've changed the game. Sunglasses that are made for real life. They're good looking, polarized, durable, not stupidly expensive. They have a wide variety. Every style you want, they're going to have it there. Honestly, hundreds to pick from. And the wild part is if you lose or break them even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on a boat, wherever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. Shady Rays is sponsoring our Rockies Rooftop Fridays. So get yourself a ticket, hang with us on the rooftop with your favorite pair of Shady Rays, and you might even see some fellow diehards out there. Next one coming up, July 17th. After that, August 21st, September 18th. You can RSVP at thednvr.com/events. It's really a fun thing to do, man, going out to Coors Field with the fellas. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVRSR for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses.
Look at this vote. Look what we got here. Oh, open it up. It's not nachos. It's not fries.
It's nacho fries.
Look at this thing. Cheese, sour cream. I don't even know what this is. Some sauce. Let's try it out.
Yeah, that'll play.
Dude, it'll play. You got like a little seasoning on the fry too.
It's what you think it is. It's delicious.
2 thumbs up.
There you go. What did you think of that?
I was whisked away into a new dimension. I was felt like I was at the table with you guys eating nacho fries.
I think what our show is missing is us eating on camera more.
Talking about some mukbanging?
Some mukbanging right into the microphone, man. The people keep saying.
Talking about mukbang right
That's what
now?
they want. Everybody hit
What
the...
if I just pulled, well, Jesus Christ.
Killed.
What if I just pulled a burger out right there?
I'm sitting in a regular position. Look at how I sit. I'm too big for this desk.
I know. Adam is like just like a bull in a China shop. And the China shop is the earth.
I'm just trying to be like a good guy, just sit in my contained area.
Hey,
and
way
I
to
keep
go.
breaking the set.
Way to go.
All right. Let's go to segment 3 here, which is the latest on Peyton Watson. So I talked yesterday about how I'm looking around and I'm really only seeing a handful of options. Those were that one, Peyton Watson ends up in a sign and trade because there's not a lot of money out there just for a straight offer. So a team would have to work with Denver to acquire him. And in a sign and trade, Denver would hold some leverage to say, we'll only do it if you meet our expectations. Like, we're not just going to give it, you give us a second rounder or Hunter Tyson back and we get that. That'd be hilarious. You traded Peyton Watson for Hunter Tyson.
Hunter Tyson and just trade him to us.
So Denver can try to extract value out of a team for that. the Brooklyn Nets, who have the ability to offer some cap space, or just Denver negotiates with Peyton Watson to get some kind of deal done. Brooklyn, I was thinking about this too. You don't usually wait. If you have cap space and you're going to make a restricted free agent offer, it's usually something you do immediately. That's not something you usually wait to this point and then change directions and say, you know what we should do? Yeah. Offer a huge long-term commitment to a player we hadn't even considered 2 weeks ago.
Well, I will say it does feel like the marketplace of the NBA restricted free agent has changed a lot over the last 3 seasons. And it does feel like people are a lot more cagey about even tendering an offer sheet. It's like a pretty rare occurrence, and it didn't used to be that way.
It does happen though.
But I think you run the risk if you are the Clippers of like putting yourself out there and then having it fail. Who did that happen to with the Ayton? The Pacers put out a big offer sheet for DeAndre Ayton, and the Suns ended up retaining him. And if memory serves, that actually kind of messed up the offseason for the Pacers because they were sort of put out, and then people knew what they were wanting to do, and they was thwarted. And so there are it does make sense that this is kind of going longer because I imagine everyone in the NBA is just kind of like we are, just looking at the timeline, what's happening, waiting for dominoes to fall. Obviously the LeBron thing is always just looming. That really feels like the domino that will be the thing that triggers all of these movements. I
don't know if it will for Peyton Watson, though.
You don't think so?
No, I really think that. So Brooklyn, like I just said, they can offer him money, but if they haven't already, what are they waiting for? Every second that goes by, their odds of getting him would be even less. So to me, I think Brooklyn is likely out, even though in theory they still can do it. The Clippers are the team that are rumored to have strong interest for him. And there is one maneuver AP Hoops put out here that could allow them to open up space. You would have to front load John Collins' salary in the sign and trade with Detroit, which Detroit would have to agree, would have to do. And then they would be able to open up a little bit more, and they could offer him up to $27 million. Here's the thing. There's some salary cap gymnastics the Clippers and Detroit would have to sign off on just to get the opportunity to offer Peyton Watson more money now. Now, their deals have not gone through yet, and the moratorium ended yesterday, so they could have completed the John Collins trade. That trade is still hanging in the balance. Same, I believe, with the Kawhi Leonard trade, which could open up something. So there is a world where you could say, why haven't the Clippers done this? Because they probably are still exploring the option of opening up more money to offer to Peyton Watson. But I look at that and say, would Denver match at $27 million? I actually don't know, but maybe. They might. And would the Clippers really go through the trouble of having to do all of these different things and beg Toronto and Detroit to play ball with them just for a chance to maybe get rejected for an offer for Peyton Watson? I don't know. I really don't know.
So, okay.
I would say I don't think so.
So, okay, walk me through this. Forgive some of my ignorance on this, but say that no other team tenders an offer to Peyton Watson. Yes. And the Denver Nuggets then just are allowed to play his contract out through this end of the season, which would be like $2 million or something, right?
He would be able to sign a qualifying offer, or they can offer him just a salary. They can just say, Peyton Watson, here, nobody offered you a deal, so here is the deal we offer you.
But he doesn't have to offer it, and then he would just become a free agent right now or next year?
It would be next year. I think you're going to give him the qualifying offer for
That's
this
what I mean.
season.
It feels like what some of these teams might be doing is saying just you're just gonna have to play out another year, and then when you're a free agent,
that number would not be very much money. It'd be like $4.5 million, I believe.
Really? That we pay him this year, or that he would get
this coming up this year. So if he does that, I think it's we'll just say $5 million that he would play for this season with no future guarantees.
Of course,
you blow out your knee, all of a sudden you never make money.
Totally.
Or so you just do that and say, I'm playing here. He obviously would probably be disgruntled.
Oh yeah.
He's probably not giving you a great effort at that point. I think that's why I don't think that option is very likely at all. Instead, if the Clippers, maybe they do this thing to try to offer him $27 million, and maybe Denver matches even if they do. Mm-hmm. Or the Clippers say, we're not going to do all that, but we will do a sign and trade, and Denver can try to push the terms and say, well, we want a lot of things for it then. We want this, this, and this. And maybe they come to an agreement. If none of those things happen and Peyton has no offers, the question now becomes, from Denver's perspective, what do we need to offer him to be happy and for him to say yes? And from Peyton's perspective, what can I live with that both protects my future and also gets me to buy in coming into the next year. And to me, I don't know what that, but I actually think that's how this plays out. Either a sign and trade or Denver just agrees or comes to him and says, listen, what do you think of 4 years, $80 million with a player option on the last year? That's way less than you wanted. That's way less, but it is $80 million in guaranteed money. Maybe it's 3 years, $60 million. It's he doesn't want to be wrapped up for that long. I think those are the two options that seem the most likely: sign and trade, or an offer that Peyton Watson does not like from Denver, and he just has to decide if he can stomach it, even though it's a lot of money, if he can stomach it for a certain amount of time.
This is why you negotiate team-friendly, team options if you're the Denver Nuggets when you are able to, and
why you negotiate player-friendly options when you're a player.
Exactly.
It's like Christian Brown, I think, does feel burdened by his contract, but it's like, listen, man, feel burdened to $125 million. You got the leverage to get that. You shouldn't feel bad. They gave it to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. This is the nasty part about negotiations, that they are not, by design, they cannot be emotional, but this is very impossible to keep it from becoming emotional.
Totally.
It really, and players will talk about after the fact, the way that the organization talked about them in order to negotiate down a lower deal. And it's something that always stuck with them. It sullied their view of the people in charge and all that. So I do feel like the Rich Paul side of this is that there is a LeBron thing at play, and we'll see how it all plays out. I would love for this just to get done, though. I mean, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this for a while.
I hope you're
right. I hope you're right.
I think that this one, 2 weeks to me feels like the max, but a week even feels to me like a realistic timeline. Because like I said, at some point, the Clippers, Nuggets, Brooklyn, all these teams have to move forward with their rosters. So I do think this one gets settled before long. My biggest fear, though, is just, again, I don't have a skin in the game for Peyton. Obviously I want the Nuggets to do well, but I don't. My fear is, will he just be unhappy? Even with $80 million, over 4 years, $20 million a year, can you get over that? The fact that you could have probably gotten $100 million, or you deserved $100 million relative to other people on the contract. That's my big question. Is he can both get a payday, and by the way, I'd be curious. So maybe somebody can run the numbers. A little homework for somebody if they want it. Would 4 years, $80 million be the most a 30th pick has ever made in their first contract? You know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways to look at it, but it's entirely possible that's the most money a 30th pick has ever made on their first real non-rookie contract.
All while having a month and a half of really exceptional basketball as on their resume, and not really much else beyond potential.
I think he's been better than that, because I hear that conversation a lot. It's
true though. I mean, prior to this year, he was all potential. He didn't flash in a way. It was like, man, this is cool. It's when he really got the opportunity. I mean, you could argue that too. It's he never fully got the opportunity to show what he could do, and that's
he's
why
had good games though. And this is why I'm saying is that it almost his run of 6 weeks or 2 months, whatever it was this year, has almost washed out all the other good games. I mean, we do also forget, he had some really big defensive sequences on Wemby the year before. Some of his best games came against the Spurs the year before, where he made a huge impact. So I just think that he has had flashes more than just the 6 to 8 months, but that was his most important stretch of his career.
Do you guys want to know the most expensive contract ever signed by a 30th overall pick?
Yes.
It was Desmond Bane, who got a full max.
Oh, Desmond Bane. Okay, that is a good one.
Two,
he might be number 2 then, yeah. That is interesting.
Yeah, but Desmond Bane was a certified starter on that team. Really got the. I mean, listen, Peyton, that's the thing, is that I agree with Peyton Watson on his value, and I do agree always that, as I say this, if you ever have leverage in life, you have to use it, because you'll be in a position most of the other time in your life where you have no leverage.
Yep.
So you always have to use it. I do also think I think he is a little bit. I think he's being a little bit more aspirational than he is being current day realistic. I do think he's earned. I think he's a 25 $5 million player, 20, 25. If you look at like the range of guys that make that amount of money, Ayo Dosunmu making 22 million.
He's in that range of player, that caliber.
At this moment, I do think he has a much higher ceiling that he's shown us. It's hard because we're talking about like more often than not, contracts are rewarded for services rendered, not potential in the future. And
you think? I think all contracts are for going forward.
Well, they are for going forward, but a lot of it is like you've shown us what you can do. Like and that's not to say like Peyton Watson has shown what he can do, but like not for a long period of time. Not saying that that's like should be held against him, but it is like when you're looking about how much to give this guy. You know, we didn't really see it in the context of everything else. We have numbers that will show us that Peyton Watson being added to the starting lineup for a very small amount of minutes was very fruitful. And I think like just even the eye test will show you that makes a lot of sense. Like it shores up a lot of the Nuggets issues. It's just, it's tough because like both sides can be like, well, he's gonna be this good, and the other side can be like, well, he's only been this, and
right.
it's in this weird place where both sides have sort of an unrealistic view of the current.
I don't even know if they have the conversation center around that. It really just comes down to Denver, how can we lower that number? Peyton, how can we rise that number? And it actually has nothing to do with principles or anything else.
Right. I mean, I do think you're right, but it's like, because yes, the conversation is foisted upon them, but I think it gets once you get past that initial, like, what are we doing? And then you start giving rationale as to why and what. It's like, you're worried about Peyton Watson's mentality after this negotiation. And that's the part that you get nervous about.
Well, I get nervous because I think it was an issue this year, not necessarily from him, but just from the team. I don't know if the team was excited to be here. I want a group of people here that are excited to be here.
Oh, of course.
Feel rewarded, but feel like they also want to pay into it. Like, you want people that both feel like they are receiving and giving to the Denver Nuggets. And I just worry that this contract could make for an uncomfortable part there.
You do want that. You want to always feel like that. Although, unfortunately, there's this thing called NBA player podcasts where like all they do is talk about how like they don't care and like they're like the coach is tripping and like,
bro,
whatever.
The Carmelo one the other day. Have you seen this? The $100 million is actually not that much money.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
It's tough, man. It's
because you're like you're
like, what?
In the end, it's like in the end we're walking away with what, $30 million. You're like, yes,
$30 million like for one contract.
If you put that just in a high yield savings account, you could live off that for your whole life. Like. Very comfortably.
Yeah, very comfortably.
My favorite part is when they act like the rest of the world doesn't pay
taxes.
I
know.
Pay taxes on my salary.
You guys
like,
even
what?
really have to pay tax on all this? Are you kidding? Like,
but
yes, man.
But I
do
fun.
too. It sucks.
But it is funny, and you get it too. Like the perspective of us looking at these guys doing their job versus the perspective of them doing their job is a very different perspective. Indeed.
All right. To end the show today, though, Eric, I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you to
every time you talk, I do that.
Okay. Well, close your eyes and try to envision these scenarios. And I just want you to search your feelings and tell me exactly how you feel when I reveal the Nuggets' future.
I'm very in touch with my emotions.
Okay.
Right now.
You're very in touch. The Nuggets run it back. They're a second apron team. They had Tyus Jones and Marvin Bagley. Bruce Brown comes back. And Peyton Watson. Denver matches a $27 million 4-year deal for him. So they are a second apron team. They're locked into him, and that's the squad. Run it back, Tyus and Bagley. Peyton's on a 4-year deal. How do you feel?
I feel good, man. Can I open my eyes?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You can open them now.
I feel good. I feel like issues were addressed.
What were they?
Not having athleticism and not having defense when it mattered.
Bagley and Brazil.
Peyton Watson.
Yeah.
And, also, really putting in a position where you don't have a buyout guy as another ball handler off the bench. You have your backup one, which Tyus Jones is. And so then it's like, it doesn't feel as strange to be like, all right, we don't trust Jalen Pickett, clearly.
Yeah, he's gone.
And we have to go over him to bring this guy in. It's it causes some weirdness. I feel good about that because it's like, okay, cool. Tyus Jones, you're running the point. Jamal Murray, you're at the 2 and in the death lineup. When it really comes down to it, you need to get things done. You can take Jamal Murray off ball. You can have a lot more interior rugged defense being played, even though Bagley is kind of not exactly that, but Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon could be that. I feel good about that. I'm definitely the guy on record saying I really feel like misfortune was the biggest contributor to their falling in the first round. Okay, I'm closing my eyes again.
You're paying Peyton Watson $27 million. I think he has to start in this instance. Christian Brown comes off the bench, and you hope for a leap from Peyton Watson. I feel good about it too. I feel really good about it. That outcome is not bad. All right, close your eyes.
Okay.
The Nuggets run it back, but they sign and trade Peyton Watson for Chris Dunn and a second-round pick. That's the return. So now you're running it back with the same starting five. Off your bench, you've got Dunn, you got Tyus. We'll just add Bruce in there for old time's sake. You got Bagley, Brazil, Duran, Strother. How do you feel?
I feel like the Nuggets are still in a good competitive position, but I feel bad.
You don't feel good about that team?
Well, I feel fine about the team, but I feel like it's just another feeling, a cloud of mismanagement that is hanging over the squad. And anytime things aren't going well, you really have something to go to focus on, to talk about. It would absolutely poison the conversation. It would feel like we gave up Peyton Watson for virtually nothing. Although I do think Chris Dunn would be a very good addition in the same way that we were just talking about Tyus Jones. Like, that's a rugged ball handler. That's a guy that can play defense and can be, your point of attack guy, and also can help Jamal if he's getting, run off the ball in the backcourt. He's a guy that can just help out, but it just feels bad. I mean, but presumably in that scenario, we keep Cam. So it's like, to me, it's like still a very reasonable team to put your faith behind. But I don't feel great.
Dunn would be, I feel worse for sure on this one. Denver maybe has more flexibility going forward, and I think Chris Dunn would be very good with Denver. Maybe even helps you in a playoff series, but I do think if you just said Peyton or Dunn, I would take Peyton, and that's basically what you're doing is you're swapping Dunn for Peyton. All right, close your eyes.
Okay, gosh.
Nuggets run it back, sign Peyton to his own deal. We'll call it $25 million. There's no offers come in, but Denver pays him. And they salary dump Cam Johnson at the 11th hour. How do you feel?
Awful. Feel awful, man. I mean, but we have Peyton, that's what you said?
Yeah, so Peyton just replaces Cam. Cam goes away.
I mean, I've kind of imagined this is the squad I've envisioned the entire offseason.
It feels way less likely now, though, than it did a week ago.
I agree. But this is the squad I have envisioned the entire time. It's the one that we all sort of like resigned ourselves to having to talk ourselves into, because it is running it back, but it's running it back to a lesser degree. You could argue that again, like when the Nuggets met their untimely demise, it was when Peyton Watson was not available. So it is running it back in a way that would theoretically they could be better than they were when they went out. But running it back to me means at least the team you have, and then like it's not, you can't lose a guy and run it back. That's not running it back.
Yeah, that you're right. It feels good that you have Peyton for the long term, but without Cam, you just feel like your team is actually not championship caliber.
Yeah, you're just like all right. Well, we're just gonna see what happens next year. It's like, oh, come on, man.
All right, here's the last one for you. The Nuggets run it back.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Watson and the
Every
Nuggets.
scenario is them running it back.
Because we're kind of down to it right now.
Even in our fantasies, we can't come up with anything more than just.
This is like on The Office when Dwight, he's like, I didn't tell you my salary, $100,000 a year. He's like, in your wildest fantasy, you're making $100,000 a year. Like, okay. All right. Nuggets run it back.
Uh-huh.
They can't come to an agreement with Peyton Watson. He's disgruntled. He signs the qualifying offer. He's back. Nuggets don't have to spend a ton of money. They retain a little flexibility, but Peyton Watson, qualifying offer.
How do I feel? I mean, I got to see how Peyton Watson does.
In theory, this is the exact same team as the first one. And like all the players are the same. The only difference is Peyton's not making money. He's basically playing for one last year before getting out of here.
I mean, I feel like I'd like him to make more money, but as long as he plays, like, if he could be a professional and just like go out there and do it, like, okay. I mean, like listen, I would like Peyton Watson to get a good deal, just because it feels good to reward guys that you've drafted and developed.
Our guys.
It's good to win with your guys, some people can say that sentimentality is actually a weakness. You shouldn't worry about whether or not where the guys came from. You should just only worry about the black and white, getting a good deal, getting the right players, this and that. So, like from that standpoint, that would be great for the Nuggets. That gives them a lot of flexibility moving forward, and they could still offer him a big contract coming out of next year if they wanted to. Like, I mean, granted, it seems like the well would be poisoned, but perhaps they win a championship, and that changes his sentiment. You just never know what's coming down the pike.
I think that this one, to me, this is what makes this exercise so interesting. Is it's the exact same team as the first one, only Peyton's not getting paid, and I feel terrible about the second one because I just don't think you would get the best version of Peyton. First of all, I think Peyton should start over Christian Brown most of the time, if not all of the time. Are you going to do that if he's on a qualifying offer? Christian Brown's locked up for a long-term deal? Probably not.
Isn't that insane though?
It's the same guys, but
I know, but now this guy, I know it's like, I mean, I understand how it works, but it is funny. Like, well, you can't say that guy, he's making more money. It's like, well, the other guy's a better player. It doesn't really like, shouldn't you just put the best team out there regardless of what the economics are? But it's not possible because what I think the NBA should do is make these numbers private.
Yeah. Nobody knows the salaries.
Yes. Why do we all have to know the exact salaries?
I mean, we don't know for coaches. Those things aren't public.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, why shouldn't the Nuggets just be able to report a full salary that they are paying for their team?
I think people like could every reverse other engineer it though.
But treat it like every other workplace.
That's true.
Where if anybody finds out their salary, like you have to talk to HR, and it's a big problem. But this is like. It's like Brian Windhor. It's everyone is negotiating for your salary in the wide open. It's like.
It is weird. It is really weird.
It ends up ranking players. They know
totally,
this. Like,
totally.
They think they're like, oh, well, I can't play. He's making more than me. And it's like, that's not, he's not, I get it. As soon as the number goes out, that's it. That's your ranking.
Yeah.
That's kind of capitalism, how it works. But yeah, make salaries private again.
Yeah. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Imagine for a second, the Nuggets signed Peyton Watson to a $27 million deal. They have Bagley, Tyus. They run it back. People are feeling good. They might even add DeMar DeRozan to their roster. They add DeMar DeRozan. And then it comes out that LeBron James is signing with the Minnesota Timberwolves. How do you feel?
I mean, I laugh. I throw my head back and I chuckle. I go, really? LeBron James is going to spend his last year in the league with LaMelo Ball. That's what's going to happen. That would be the most insane turn of events of all time. Like that. I mean, it would suck, but I don't think that they would win anything.
You wouldn't be scared.
I mean, I wasn't scared when he was on the Lakers and they had Anthony Davis and stuff. Like, I just feel like, we have answers for all of that. I just would be like, what are you doing? That doesn't even make sense.
I will say this, man, because I put out in the timeline the other day that I think Denver is just the best on basketball fit. And all these people cop in the comments being like, defense. And to me, it makes me want to not make any moves to truly run it back. And because I think that Denver, you just look at it, their four best defenders, Aaron Gordon, 30 games last year, out of the playoffs. Peyton Watson, not there for the last month, out of the playoffs. Christian Brown tore ligaments in his foot in the first month of the season, played the whole year clearly at like 60% health-wise. And then Spencer Jones, who was on the weird contract and then got hurt late in the year as well. I just look at it and say, I don't think Denver's a horrible defense. They're not great. These people acting like Denver has no defense, I would just love for them to come back and be a good defensive group with the guys that they have. Clearly, I would love for them to be better, but there's a part of me where everybody talks about them as if they can't guard. Also, by the way, in that series, they didn't lose because of their defense. The games were like 104-96.
I know.
The defensive ratings were good. It wasn't about their defense. It was about their offense getting stuck in the mud.
Their offense got stuck in the mud, and then when the wheels fell off, they really fell off in that last game. And that's like the lasting memory, obviously, and understandably that people have of that series because it did reflect on them very poorly. And their dedication and their commitment to the team and their sport came into question. I mean, it was a very bad situation. But I'm on that side of the ledger. I really just think that they are very maligned in a way that is not fair necessarily, but is just a byproduct of a bad playoff run where it's impossible to look at it any other way. So yeah, man, I like, if I'm going to tell you will you close your eyes? Okay. So here's what happens. The Nuggets Run it back.
Wait a second. Okay. So they're running it back. All right.
But
okay.
Through Clutch Sports, they negotiate a LeBron James and Peyton Watson double deal that includes Peyton Watson getting $25 million a year for 4 years that he feels good about. And LeBron James comes as a minimum, and the rest of the team is as they are.
I mean, I've already thought about this one. They win the championship. It's awesome. There are parts of it we don't love, but for the most part, it's the most beautiful basketball anybody's ever watched, and it's incredibly dope. And then everybody from the outside says how weird it is because they didn't want LeBron to go to Denver. And it's like nobody can accept the actual good story. The Nuggets win it.
Yeah, so
LeBron. Come on, people. What is going on? Come on.
So just to be clear, like the fantasy that I gave you was an actual fantasy that made you happy. And you just gave me bummer scenario after bummer scenario.
That's how we do it. Guys, we're going to read some super chats in overtime.
Couldn't do it.
Not here. Not here.
Couldn't make it, dude. I'm so glad we got rid of all of those TV people. And now it's just us.
Now it's just us
internet
on the internet.
People. You fucking idiots. I can swear all I want.
Macaru says, I hope P. Watt stays, but we need a defensive unit to plug in with our offense unit. Bring back Spencer. By the way, yes, I think Spencer's a big deal. He didn't get the deal so far. Denver needs to keep him. Sign me up for Dunn and Derek Jones Jr. and a pick if needed. There is an argument to be made. Peyton Watson or two guys, Dunn and DJJ, who, Peyton's better than both of them, but is he better than both combined? It's at least something to think about.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean,
and would the Clippers even do that? I don't think they would. So, but that's the real thing.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I really value about Peyton Watson is that his 3-point shooting is way better than you think it is.
Yep.
His offensive acumen is much better than I expected it to be. He can actually put the ball on the floor a little bit more than I expected him. And he has great help side defensive ability and chase down ability. He's not amazing at keeping guys in front of him. He's not like an incredible point of attack defender, but I think he would be a much better one if he was relegated to only guarding wings and threes versus having to sometimes get on point guards or whatever. So I think that his defense, his shooting can obviously be replaced by Cam. Cam can do a lot of the things that Peyton can, but he can't do all of the defensive things that Peyton can do. And so it would be a step back there, which would hurt.
Yeah. We'll see. Swearingen. Al Swearingen says it's frowned upon to take the captaincy away, no matter how good Jokic is. For now, he steps in as captain when Bogdan isn't present. Once Bogey retires, it's Jokic's turn. That's just how things work. Isn't he the captain? He steps in because Bogdan's gone. I see. Once you're named captain, you never are uncaptain.
This is clearly a Serbian perspective of the way things are. The way things are. That's how it works. You don't
Nothing
do it.
Can ever change.
Things never change. Like he's like everyone knows wheels are made of stone and wood, and that's how we like it.
I'm telling you, I don't get the perspective, but again, if that's how things are there and that's how you want to keep it, so keep it. But Jokic should be the captain and here.
Nuggets,
Here at the Nuggets, Jokic should be the captain. Jovan Jeftic says, run it back. Sign P. Watt for $25 million a year. Keep Cam, Bruce Brown, and crew. Trade Jonas and Zeke for picks. Sign minimums. LeBron, Russ, how do you feel? High enough. Here's the thing, man. By the way, Big Val's contract, Nuggets have to have a decision by tomorrow on him, whether they guarantee his money or not.
There's no chance they guarantee that.
I think the thing is they're trying to trade him first and say that, but it doesn't look like
$10 million.
So.
I mean, get ready, Greece.
Nuggets news coming in the next 24 hours, one way or another.
Get ready, Olympiakos Panathinaikos.
They moved on. It was another team. It was Zalgiris or something like that. I don't remember. People are going to. It's the Lithuania team.
All I know is I hope that Panathinaikos does not succeed in any of their ventures.
Worst fans on earth. Al Swearingen says maybe we can convince LeBron to plant some trees.
We don't have to do that. We've got the Cronkies have he could just mow some yards. I mean, what could he do? They have nothing but real estate.
They have a lot of real estate, man. Let's just pray it happens or whatever, man.
I'm not praying it's happening, but that would be sweet. That would be sweet. It would feel very good to feel as though we'd been chosen by
the chosen one,
a larger invisible hand. If something like that happened,
It would be very good for all of us, including our careers. Everybody, it'd be very good for Kale, more so than anyone, to be honest with you.
And we won't tell him why though. Tell him later.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the like button on the way out.